Elise and the slippery floor. Elise was the fluffiest Pomeranian on Maple Street, with cream-colored fur that bounced with every step and eyes like two tiny black buttons. But despite her adorable appearance, Elise had a secret that made her ears droop with embarrassment. She was absolutely terrified of the kitchen's shiny linoleum floor. Every morning, when her human Sarah would call,
"Breakfast time."
From the kitchen, Elise would race to the doorway with excitement, her little paws clicking on the hardwood. But the moment she saw that gleaming, treacherous surface stretching between her and her food bowl, she would freeze. The floor looked like a frozen pond to her, smooth, dangerous, and completely untrustworthy.
"Come on, Elise."
Sarah would coax, patting her leg.
It's just the kitchen floor, sweetheart.
But Elise knew better. She had tried crossing it exactly once, 3 months ago, and had gone sliding across it like a furry hockey puck, spinning in circles until she crashed into the cabinet. The memory still made her shiver. So every day, Elise developed increasingly creative ways to avoid the floor. She would try to leap from the doorway directly to her food bowl, a distance far too great for her tiny legs. She attempted to army crawl along the edges, where a thin strip of rubber mat provided some grip. Once, she even tried to convince Buster, the neighbor's lazy bulldog, to carry her across, though that plan failed when Buster just snorted and rolled over for a nap. Sarah noticed her little dog's strange behavior and felt her heart ache. She tried placing towels across the floor, but Elise somehow knew they would shift and betray her. She bought special gripping socks for dogs, but Elise treated them like tiny torture devices and managed to shake them off within minutes. The breakthrough came on a rainy Thursday morning when Elise was particularly hungry. She had skipped dinner the night before, too proud to ask for help reaching her bowl, and her stomach was growling loudly enough to wake the neighbors. As she stood at the kitchen threshold, trembling with both fear and hunger, she noticed something different. Sarah had spilled a few drops of water near the sink, and instead of the usual terrifying smoothness, there were little puddles that caught the light differently. Elise realized that the floor wasn't uniformly slippery. It had texture, tiny imperfections, places where her paws might actually find purchase. Taking the tiniest step forward, Elise felt her paw connect solidly with the floor. She didn't slide. Encouraged, she took another step, then another. Her movements were careful and deliberate, but she was moving.
"That's it, Elise."
Sarah whispered from across the kitchen, not wanting to startle her brave little dog. Step by careful step, Elise made her way across the kitchen. When she finally reached her food bowl, she felt like she had conquered Mount Everest. Her tail, which had been tucked firmly between her legs for months, suddenly began to wag so hard her entire back end wiggled. From that day forward, Elise approached the kitchen floor with a new understanding. She learned to read its surface, to find the spots with better grip, and to move with confidence rather than fear. She developed her own technique, a sort of dignified prance that kept her paws in contact with the floor while maintaining her fluffy Pomeranian pride. Sarah watched with joy as her little dog transformed from a trembling, fearful pup into a confident kitchen navigator. And Elise? She learned that sometimes the things that scare us most are just waiting for us to take them one small, careful step at a time. Now, whenever neighborhood dogs came to visit and hesitated at the kitchen doorway, Elise would demonstrate her technique with the air of a seasoned expert. After all, she had conquered the slippery floor. What couldn't she do? And every morning, when Sarah called breakfast time, Elise would trot confidently into the kitchen, her fluffy fur bouncing and her head held high, ready to face whatever challenges the day might bring. Because if a 5-pound Pomeranian could defeat a linoleum floor, surely anything was possible.